Happy Friday! Oh, my hat is shadowing my face. There, that's a little better. Welcome, replay viewers, and welcome everyone coming in live. I think I'm going to start calling this Come As You Are Q&A on Fridays because it seems like I'm either unshowered or have no makeup on Fridays. So you can just expect that. I think I shared, hi Beth, last week that it's our house cleaning day because my kids don't have school and sometimes I go grocery shopping. It's just a slower day. Hey, Brooke. So I actually realized like 10 minutes ago what time it was because I was working on stuff and went, uh-oh, I better get ready. You're in your jammies there. See, that's the great thing when you're just viewing a scope. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. Truth is, a lot of times when I do my weekly blab with Dan Safco, our Making It on Etsy blab, I'm looking all nice from here up and I'm wearing like my fleece lounge pants on the bottom. It's an awesome thing about, you know, only having this part show. Hello, welcome everyone. Hey Patrice. Laura, I saw you come in too. Hey Tracy. So in case you're new, I am Melissa from MakerySpace.com. And I love to educate and equip Etsy sellers in the more left-brained aspects of running a creative business. And I am on Periscope most weekdays about 10:30 Pacific time. And I can say most weekdays now because I made a habit of it. Yay! Dreams and Peace, remind me of your name, please. And I just, okay. Hello. And what's your name? Is your name Ayana? Christy, thank you. I remember seeing you in here yesterday. Okay, did I pronounce it correctly? Ayana? Let me know if I didn't. I don't want to say it wrong. Okay, okay, good. Welcome everyone. Light is bright. This is Q&A. You can ask me anything about selling on Etsy or just being a maker in general or social media stuff, whatever it is that you have, you can bring on Fridays, and feel free to ask in the comments. And I will do my best to answer. And sometimes there'll be other people that are in the scope who can answer maybe even better than me. And that is great because we all have different areas where we have experience and some expertise. No, I do not do Etsy wholesale. That is not something I have explored because, well, partly because I don't feel like, I try to make my products affordable because of the fact that I make wallets and accessories for the cash envelope system of budgeting. So most people who purchase my products are trying to get out of debt or at least living on a budget. So I don't underprice my products, but I try to make them really affordable. And so when I look at what a wholesale price would be, if I cut my retail in half, it's just not, I don't think it's something that's feasible for me for doing half. So that's not something that I have explored personally. The new generic shop policies. Okay, Tracy. Okay, Kareth, so apostrophes, I'll write that down. So I talked about this a little bit on one of my recent scopes about the shop policies. My current decision is that I'm going to keep my policies that I have right now. So, hey Patrice, the generic policies, I think some parts of it are good. I mean, it's nice that they're very short and to the point and don't require a lot of scrolling to go through. I don't like some of the wording because it sounds really wishy-washy or even like a little bit defensive, like I'm not responsible for such and such. So some of the wording bothers me a little bit. I don't think it's that huge of a deal if you choose to go with them, but I don't love that part. The biggest concern for me is just that there are certain ways I've developed my policies based on experiences that I've had in my last 4.5 years as a seller, where I've felt like there need to be some specific guidelines. And that is, yeah, I'll address that too, Kareth. That is one reason I want to keep them is because I feel like being able to direct buyers to those guidelines, like let's say someone wants to exchange something or return something, or someone didn't put the correct address in their Etsy account, or it's an old one and they haven't updated it, and then a package gets sent to it because that's the only address we have, and they don't have, the forwarding has expired. How do I deal with that? How do I deal with if they let me know before the package is sent that they have an address change? All those kinds of questions are addressed in my policies. And those are things that I could move to the Q&A section that follows the policies, but Etsy has said that, I'm getting the indication that if it's in the Q&A, it's not necessarily going to protect you as much, whereas in the seller handbook, it talks about how Etsy basically support the policies that you have in place if you have them written. So the Q&A section is kind of a separate thing, and I don't really think I want to move everything to there, and I'm not sure people would necessarily read it. So I'm keeping mine as is for now. So as far as the search algorithm, several months ago they made it clear that having your policies filled out was part of the customer experience piece of the search algorithm, along with your about page, along with positive reviews, not having cases filed against you, that kind of thing, recent cases. So having a shop that already has policies in place is already benefiting that somewhat in search. Okay, we don't know how much. Etsy doesn't disclose how much each component of the search algorithm affects where a listing lands in search, but we do know that it is beneficial. So they have said that if you use their kind of canned policies when the new shop design debuts, that will help you a little bit. Well, the people it's going to help the most are people who don't have any policies right now. If you're going from 0 policies to using their canned policies, that's going to be the biggest help that you're going to see. Hey, Wendy. Hey, Sarah. If you already have policies in place and you have had them for a while, and then you move to their canned policies, that might a tiny bit help you, but I can't imagine that it's going to create this big bump or this huge benefit like it would if you're going from 0 policies to their canned policies. So I really think you need to make the decision based on what you feel is best for you as a shop owner and what is best for your buyers. And then keep an eye on it. So pay attention to where your listings are landing in search before April 5th. Maybe track your bestsellers. Take like your 5 bestsellers, your 3 bestsellers, whatever. Pay attention to exactly where they're landing in search for like a day or two before that change. And then watch what happens maybe over the course of April. And then if you see, that if sales are pretty much the same as they have been, give or take, but you see a noticeable difference as far as your search placement, then you might consider switching to the canned policies. But I don't think you're going to notice that much of a difference. Etsy admin, their wording is kind of weird. They say it will help you if you have no policies and start using their canned policy, but if you, hi Mandy, if you already have your own policies and don't switch to theirs, you're not going to be penalized. So you're not going to go, it's not like they're going to make something happen where you purposely are going down in search. Yay, Mandy. So, but I guess maybe a possibility is if all the people in your niche who are optimizing for the same keywords are using their canned policies, then perhaps they could appear higher than you in search. Possibly. Hi, Kimberly. So it's not like they're going to dock you and make you fall because you're not using them. It's just that possibly, but like I said, I kind of doubt this is going to happen. Possibly if everybody else uses the canned ones and you stick with your own, they could go a little higher than you in search. Does that make sense? So I would just do what you think is best. If you think their canned policies are fine, then just go with them. And they're not totally canned. Obviously, you can modify them somewhat for your situation. But if you have developed your own policies and you really feel strongly about them and you really feel they've been helpful for you, you might consider just sticking with them and then just watching to see if there's a change. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I am not panicking about this policies thing. But I do think if you don't have policies, that you need to do that. And I have a feeling that once that April 5th change happens, new sellers are probably not going to have the option of creating policies like we have been able to that are lengthier and more detailed. I think that new sellers who open a shop or sellers who have not had policies are probably going to have to go to the new policy format. Tracy, you can switch back to your own. I know right now, I'm not sure after April 5th, if you go to their shortened policies, if you're going to be able to switch back. I'm not positive about that. I can look into that. Okay, so Kareth, you were wondering about apostrophes. Moving to a new home. Okay, Christy, I will talk about that. On apostrophes, Kareth, sometimes you will notice a little bit different search results, even with plurals. Like if you put in key ring and key rings, usually you'll get the same number of search results that shows at the top, but sometimes the order will be a little bit different. And I'm guessing that's kind of just dependent on what people use in their tags. But usually it will return everything that is for the singular and the plural both. Apostrophes, I think, is the same way. So you might just, that's a good thing to experiment with. Just try out both. See, maybe if you use Mother's Day. Yeah, I have noticed that plurals do make a little bit of a difference. But like I said, I think it still brings back the same number of search results, but I think the order can be different. You might try Mother's Day without an apostrophe and Mother's Day with an apostrophe in your tags, and then look at your stats and see what people are finding you for. If you can afford to, free up another tag to do it both ways, you might just try it. It's worth experimenting for. Well, I don't know. I guess, Mandy, when did it come out? Was it just recent? If it was really recent that you had an Easter listing on Etsy Finds, it's possible that people were, last Friday, maybe people were already done shopping for Easter type of stuff because of the fact that it's this Friday. Hi, Elizabeth. This Sunday. So that could possibly be why you didn't get any sales from it. That would be my guess. Okay, so Christy was knowing she's moving to a new home, how to make that easier for Etsy. Now, in which way? As far as detail-wise, oops, I just turned off